Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. When the DPS trooper conducted a traffic stop on a 2014 Nissan Maxima eastbound at the 134-mile marker on Interstate 30, he determined the vehicle was displaying the wrong license plate and registration insignia. His routine check of the vehicle's VIN revealed the vehicle was listed as stolen out of McKinney. Keosha Shametric Shante Blackman, age 22, of McKinney, did not have consent of the vehicle owner to operate the vehicle. She was arrested for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, a state jail felony. Blackman was driving in the left lane on the eastbound side of I-30 when driving in that lane was prohibited, according to the trooper's report.
The Riley Springs Jamboree this Saturday night, July 21st, will feature Monty Tips and his Main Street Band. The show will start at 6 o'clock. Let's find out more from Monty Tips.
And we're looking forward to it. It's been a long time since I've been out there, and I miss it. That's a fun crowd, a fun place to play, and the cool thing, most of the band members have never played the Riley Springs Jamboree, and so they're kind of excited about it too.
Good. Yes, it is. It's a different kind of setting. I mean, I say we serve a heap and helping of hospitality at
Absolutely.
Riley Springs, and we treat you all kinds of different ways, so you'll like some of them.
Absolutely. Well, I've never had a bad time out there. I started playing out there many years ago, and the people have always treated us nice when we go out there, and I really do enjoy going out there. Just don't get to go enough.
Yeah, well, you got to come at least once a year and bring your band, which you've got some new band leaders and members, and we'll talk about that. You've also got an engagement Friday night that folks might see you at.
Right.
Tell us about
we're
that.
playing at the Cypress Marina. It's a restaurant down on Cypress Springs. Don't ask me for the address because I don't know that, but people can look it up on Facebook or they can Google it and find out how to get down there. The food's really good down there, and we go down and do a three-piece show down there with Kurt Bittner and Joe Harrison, and I go down there and play for probably from 6:30 to 10. Okay. Crowd loves us down there too, and so and we like to play down there. It's a neat little venue.
So this weekend, 2 opportunities to see Monty Tips in Main Street, and we'll keep you informed here as we find out his schedule for the future. Well, I want to catch up with Monty Tips himself, and so I know you're from Hopkins County, but where at did you come from?
I am a Miller Grove boy.
Okay.
Born here in Sulphur Springs, raised up out at Miller Grove, and I hadn't gotten too far from Hopkins County my whole life.
When you graduated and all, you decided to go into law enforcement. Is that right?
That's right. I was just kind of waiting around, trying to decide where I wanted to go to college or what I was going to do. And I had an old friend who was the jail administrator over at Hopkins County, and he offered me a summertime job as a correction officer, and so I took that job. And it wasn't very long at all that I started riding out with the deputies and things like that, and it wasn't very long at all that I realized that I kind of felt like that's what I was supposed to be doing. And so I spent almost 6 years at the sheriff's office, and then in 91 I went to the Sulphur Springs PD. And I spent 24 and a half years at Sulphur Springs PD, and I retired from there in 2016.
So 30 years in law enforcement.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't look old enough to have put 30 years in anything.
I feel pretty old.
Well, and so family life has been part of your life, too.
Yes, ma'am.
Vanessa and?
Abby.
Okay. Your daughter is also in kind of a music career.
She is. Don't know yet what her path is going to take, but she's going to always be involved in music in some way.
Okay. Well, so when did you first pick up a guitar?
Late in life, actually. I wasn't one of these guys who started when I was a kid. I was 20 years old, and I went down to the pawn shop and bought my first guitar. Had no idea how to play it, and that's when videos were real popular. That country videos as well as MTV and all that kind of thing. And so I taught myself what little bit I know to play, I taught myself. I would just watch those guys' fingers and just kind of try to learn chords, and so yeah, I'm self-taught. But I got my first guitar when I was 20 years old. I think that was 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, well you look like it. Really, it's so much easier now to learn off the internet with all kinds of tutorials and things like
Absolutely.
that. You can just watch them over and over until you get it. But what was one of the first songs that you learned to play?
Well, I do a little thing on my show. I talk about, and my brother had a guitar growing up, and I was a big Johnny Cash fan, and I could, at the age of probably 6, I could play the lead part, or not the lead, but because I'm not a lead picker, I'm just a strummer, but I could do that on Folsom Prison, and so I got to where I could do that.
So you played that on your brother's guitar?
On my brother's guitar, and if he knew how many times I snuck in his room and borrowed his guitar while he was off working or something, he'd have probably been pretty mad at me.
Well, do you have a collection of them now?
I do, actually. I have way too many. I've heard it referred to as having GAS, which means guitar acquisition syndrome, and I have way too many guitars.
Well, I know you love country music.
I do.
I appreciate you because you're one of those that really stand for country music around here, and Christian country music too.
Yes, ma'am.
Country gospel too.
We do. We always try to, especially when we're at Riley Springs and at variety shows and things of that nature, we always try to incorporate some gospel music into our show.
Sure.
Not every venue will be able to do that, but we try to if we can.
Do you write? Do you write songs?
I write, but I've never written very much that I'm proud of. I have some songs that I've written, and I'm my own worst critic, I know, but just never found anything that I just really, really thought that'd be a hit song.
Well, I'm sort of the same. I thought once I went to work here and we played country music back in those days, just all the top songs. If I listened to those formulas enough, I could probably write one, but I never could do it. Nothing I would be proud of, like you say.
There's definitely an art to it, and I know some people who can just write a song that you think should be a #1 hit in just minutes, and I don't know, my little brain just don't go there.
You love singing, you love entertaining and making people feel good. There's a difference between a singer and an entertainer, although entertainers sing.
That's correct.
And to say someone's an entertainer to me is a compliment.
Well, it is to me too, and I hope to, make the crowd have a smile on their face. I hope they enjoy what they're seeing. Now, you're not going to see a lot of dancing around the stage and a lot of that stuff from me normally. No leather pants or anything like that. No fire, no smoke. But we just we want. We have a following of fans that like that old traditional country music, and places that we played lately. A lot of people are wanting to hear some new, dirt road country music, or Texas country, or even some of the new sounds that are coming out of Nashville. And I just have to tell them, I'm not against any of that stuff. I'm not opposed to it. It's just not what we do. I've stayed pretty true, and I'm sure at some point it's been a detriment to me, but I've stayed really true to the traditional sounds, the stuff that I grew up on, the George Jones, Merle Haggard stuff that my parents listened to, and stuff that I grew up on. I was probably born about 50 years too late.
It's funny how things go out of fashion and come back into fashion just based on people's point of view, because of course country, when it wasn't cool, and then country comes back in, the same things that weren't cool now have become cool to country music lovers.
Right. Absolutely.
And it's a little bit timeless that way, I think.
Right.
Well, I want to see if you'll play us a tune.
I would love to play you a tune. I was sitting there this morning thinking about probably what I would do. How much time do we have? I don't want to play
only
something.
About 4 minutes left.
4 minutes. We're all good. I want to do a song that, real quick, February 12th, when all that flu was going around, back this winter, I was homesick one day, sitting there feeling as close to death as I could feel, and I'm sure a lot of people know what that was all about. And I was notified that my modern-day hero had passed away, Mr. Darrell Singletary. In my opinion, the greatest country music voice that has come along probably since George Jones or Merle Haggard. And so it just, I just felt way more sick when I got that news. And country music lost a tremendous talent, and Darrell Singletary never got the recognition that he deserved, because I believe in this day and time he was too country. And so I guess I'll just do a song that
bring that one a little closer to you.
This one right here?
Yeah, down
All
there.
right.
Down there.
Down there.
There we go.
We good?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see how this works. The note was short, but Lord, so strong. It simply said, I can't go on and live a life with someone that I don't love. She couldn't tell me face to face, oh, but how my world was changed by the hand that held the pen, that wrote the words, that broke the heart of the one, the only one that really loves her. My tears fell down like falling rain. They can't wash away the pain. How will I go to sleep without her in my arms? She never meant to break my heart, but my world was torn apart by the hand that held the pen, that wrote the words, that broke the heart of the one, the only one that really loves her. With one stroke of the pen, she wrote off all my dreams, erasing all those plans we made together. Well, there's no one that I can blame. Oh, but how my world was changed by the hand that held the pen, that wrote the words, that broke the heart of the one, the only one that really loves her. Yes, I'm the one, the only one that really loves her.
Oh, Monty, that's beautifully done.
And the first time I ever played at Riley Springs Jamboree, I did that song. So,
Really?
yes, ma'am.
Well, will you do it again this Saturday night?
Well, we've got a set list, and that song wasn't on our set list, but the guys in the band give me such a hard time, because we'll have a perfect set list and we'll practice it and we'll have our show all worked out, and then I'll stray off the set list. So I think just to keep in tradition, yeah, we will do that song Saturday night.
Oh, that's great. By request.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Monty Tips. Thank you for the song.
Thank you for having me.
And for your contribution to our community. You are a big part of things around here.
Well, thank you so much.
And you're a person we can always depend on. You kind of don't ever change.
Well, I hope not. I hope not.
Please don't. Thank you, Monty.
Thank you.
See you Saturday night.
Here's Don with sports.
KSST has done several stories about the tremendous recruiting interest in Wildcats basketball standout, 6'8" power forward Victory Walker, who will be a senior this school year. Wildcats basketball coach Clark Cipolletta says several other Wildcats have also drawn interest from colleges. Perhaps the tallest of the Wildcats, 6'9" power forward Xavier Cork, an incoming senior, is attracting a lot of attention from recruiters. Coach Cipolletta says Cork is being recruited by schools including Texas State, Louisiana Tech, Stephen F. Austin, Sam Houston, Princeton, and West Point. 6'3" guard Keyston Willis, an incoming senior, is being recruited by schools such as Drake, Sam Houston, and Stephen F. Austin. Coach Cipolletta says 4 Wildcats that will be juniors this school year are now at an age where they are just beginning to be recruited. He says Baylor is interested in players like 6'8" forward God's Gift Ezedinma and 6'7" point guard Michael Jefferson. Also drawing interest are 6'5" forward Cameron Kahn and 6'4" forward Sadadrian Day Hall. Coach Cipolletta said another pair of incoming juniors are also piquing the interest of college recruiters. 5'10" guard Grayson McClure and 6'5" forward Kai Taylor. McClure has taken 21,000 practice shots this summer, and Taylor was a high-scoring player on the Wildcats JV last season. Coach Cipolletta says he gets calls and text messages all the time from schools such as North Texas, Dartmouth, UT Tyler, Dallas Baptist, UT San Antonio, and St. Edwards of Austin. He says coaches attend open gym and practice sessions during the season. Coach Cipolletta says they come to look at a particular player and end up discovering several others that intrigue them. He says just about every kid who is on the varsity roster this season has the chance to play in college at some level. Coach Cipolletta credits success due to hard work for the tremendous interest. He also praises his players. Coach Cipolletta says college coaches know the type of kid they could be getting from Sulphur Springs.
This past weekend at Coleman Park, the Dixie State Championship was played. In ceremonies preceding the tournament, a former leader of Sulphur Springs softball was honored.
On Sunday, April the 28th, Hopkins County and the state of Texas lost a legend. Louise Yates went home to be with the Lord. In 1984, Louise started on the Hopkins County Board as a local board member. She was a board member until about 1996. In 1994, while being on the local board, she was voted onto the state board as District 6 District Director, where she served for approximately 15 years until 2009. As a board member and a district director, Louise was one of the main reasons for the first ever Deb's World Series to come to Hopkins County in 1998. And in 2006, she brought the Angels Traditional World Series to Hopkins County. In 2009, Louise was inducted into the Dixie Hall of Fame. Louise loved every girl that was signed up all the same. It didn't matter what age, who they played for, what town they were from, or the district she was in. It did not matter. She always made sure that the girls were number one. Not only was Louise a local and district board director, but Louise and her husband, Gary, was the field crew for Hopkins County until 2006, when the current park was built. when we had the old part, they were the field crew. They took care of everything, mowing, watering, chalking. They were our field crew. I've lost my place. This past December, Gary passed away. Gary was first introduced to Hopkins County in about 1996 when he was the commissioner of the Darlings, the first Darlings that Hopkins County had. He wanted the best for the players, just like Louise did. See them learn and advance in their softball life as far as they could. Gary and Louise will always be treasured and remembered here in Hopkins County, not only as board members, but as family. At this time, I would like to present the Yates family with this plaque acknowledging a wonderful set of people that we are honored to have met and learned from. Thank you very much, Gary and Louise. We love you and enjoy meeting you again. Now, to do a little bit, to flow down memory lane just a little bit further, we're going to let Ray Glenn say a few words.
Thank you, Joey. It's a great honor and privilege to be here today. It's really ironic that I stand before you because a week ago today, I was in my storage facility cleaning out some stuff. Went through a cabinet and there was a trophy, the softball trophy with a ball in it that my daughter got 16 years ago. First year we played on this field in this complex over here on field 2. Louise presented her with this for hitting the first home run out of the park in the first year we played here at the state tournament on the way to the World Series in Alabama. I looked at that ball and automatically started thinking of the past. It was signed by my buddy here behind me, Pat Belinowski, and his wife, and it was signed by Louise Yates, district director. And in this story, that was the last year we played. After playing for many, many years, I coached for many years here. But as I looked at that ball and started remembering things, what I saw I saw ink that had been faded on those balls from signatures, that ball. But the memories were just as fresh as it was yesterday, and they'll last forever. So with that being said, it's an honor to stand before you today on behalf of all the old coaches, thousands of young ladies that played the game, and many families that had the privilege of knowing Louise Yates. Louise was a leader in our community and this district when it pertained to Hopkins County girl Dixie softball. She gave unselfishly of her time in the ball fields, were her home away from home for many years. She worked countless hours for this organization, and she was the ultimate volunteer. And a person said one time, a volunteer doesn't necessarily have the time, they have the heart. Louise did have the heart. Louise was passionate in her role as secretary and eventually district director. She made sure every I was dotted and every T was crossed. Sponsors were sought out each season and never went unrecognized for their support for making the season possible. Down to the girls' uniforms, Louise's attention to detail was always her trademark. She also made sure each coach was well prepared and equipped to provide the most productive season possible. At any given time during the season, Louise was always available or a call away for advice or just to give of her service when needed. Not only did Louise support Hopkins County Dixie Girls softball with her time and energy, but she was always willing to donate from her own pocket when funds were short for a team or projects around the field. She made sure that no child and no team was left behind. She had a very generous counterpart that supported her every move and decision behind the scenes and should be recognized as well. Gary and Louise Yates were a team, and we were all blessed to witness such giving hearts for the love of the game. In closing, Louise would want me to say this to the coaches. Over the years that you coach, you will build relationships and friendships that will last a lifetime. Make them good ones. Your encouragement and leadership will not go unnoticed. Enjoy the time you have in this great sport, as I know I did. Winning isn't everything, even for a competitive person like myself. Winning is just a bonus. Now Louise will tell me to hush and get this on. We're on the schedule. Wrap it up. So to Danny, Denise, Diane, your families, your mom was one to be proud of. Thank you all for allowing me to have this time to remember such fun times. I'll always be blessed by the memories of Louise and the Hopkins County Dixie Girls softball. Thank you.
It's your turn. No, it's yours. I don't know if I can do it. Y'all have heard some great, excellent things by angels that are in heaven. These folks were very close personal friends. I watch these kids, adults now, I watch these kids grow up. I watched Gary, their daddy, go out here in the old park and build stands in the middle of the night because they had a business to run, so he couldn't find any other time except in the middle of the night. He would build fence, he would build stands, he would work on the concession stand. He would do anything there was to do. Louise, for over 25 years, both of them contributed to Hopkins County and to the girls across the state because Louise would travel anywhere to talk to anybody about softball. I mean, she loved it, Gary loved it, and they did everything they could for this community in all of this area. And it's a great honor to give these two kids that I know and love this plaque from Dixie Softball. It says, in loving memory of Louise and Gary Yates in recognition of their many years of loving service, outstanding dedication, and devotion to the young girls of Texas Dixie Softball. Gratitude is when memory is stored in the heart, not in the mind. By Lionel Hampton. This is presented to the family on this 13th day of July 2008. Thank y'all very much, and God bless y'all.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.